Deke Williams Johnson. Born in Nashville, Tennessee, his favorite subject is math. He has been at F.H. Jenkins for 2.75 years. His occupational goal is to be an anesthesiologist. His hobbies are basketball, art, and Instagram. His favorite Bible text, Romans 8:28, and we know that in all things God works for the good of them who love him and who have been called according to his purpose. Favorite memory at F.H. Jenkins when he got best athletic performance in the MTAC League. He will be attending Lead Academy. Anya Sophia Hardin. Born in St. Louis, Missouri, favorite subject is reading. Has attended F.H. Jenkins for 4 years. Occupational goal is to be a writer, singer, etc. Hobbies, singing, writing, dancing, reading. Favorite memory verse, you have turned my mourning into joyful dancing. You have taken away my clothes of mourning and clothed me with joy. Favorite memory of F.H. Jenkins when in the last PE of 6th grade, the class sang a song that we made up on the bleachers, and we danced and we recorded it, and also when we made up songs and danced in Mr. Hutton's class. We'll be attending Brandon High School in Brandon, Mississippi. Irvin Gill Fordham. Born in Missouri, his favorite subject is social studies. He has been at F.H. Jenkins for 2 years. His occupational goal is to be a film director or a therapist. Hobbies, listening to music, playing sports, and writing. Favorite memory verse, Proverbs 1:5. A wise man will hear and increase learning, and a man of understanding will attain wise counsel. Favorite memory at F.H. Jenkins, performing in the Christmas play. He will be attending Madison Academy. Taylor Charlene Madison. Born in Cincinnati, Ohio, favorite subject in school is science. She has attended F.H. Jenkins for 9 years. Her occupational goal to be a pediatric assistant. Hobbies are shopping and hanging with her friends. Favorite memory verse, John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. Favorite memory of F.H. Jenkins, mission trip with her 8th grade friends. She will be attending GAAA or Madison Academy. McKinley Renee Jeffries. Born in Nashville, Tennessee, her favorite subject is math. She has been attending F.H. Jenkins for 5 years. Her occupational goal is to be a business law professor. Hobbies, volleyball, shopping, spending time with family and friends. Favorite memory verse, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Favorite memory of F.H. Jenkins is when she ate a couple of Miss Washington's Ferrero Rocher, which she does not share. We'll be attending Father Ryan High School. These are our 8th grade graduates.
Please stand. Please bow your heads and close your eyes. Dear Lord, Thank you for allowing us all to make it to this graduation. Thank you for allowing these 8th graders to make it through the year. Thank you for everyone who supported them through their lives and through this 8th grade year. Please help us to be successful on our last 8 years of school. And please help us to go on to do great things for you. In Jesus' name, amen. You may be seated.
Good evening. Welcome to our graduation. My name is Sadiq Williams Johnson.
And my name is McKinley Jeffries.
Thank you for joining us this evening and coming out to support us.
We appreciate you for helping us accomplish this milestone and coming out to celebrate us. Hope you enjoy your evening.
Good evening. I am Pax Fordham. I'm the student government president of FH Jenkins. Normally someone giving a graduation speech would talk about trying your best in life, or they would give you the nothing impossible speech. But today I wanted to talk about something different. See, I'm not going to give you some cliche illustration or try to serenade you with a quote by someone successful like President Obama or Oprah. I'm going to speak to you about something I've been thinking a lot lately. That thing is change. It's crazy how much a class can evolve in one school year. I still remember when we were new to 8th grade. We were less mature, we had different haircuts, and I was still trying so hard to get taller than Taylor. We had no idea of the things that we had up ahead. For most of my life, I haven't been a big fan of change. I thought it was too risky. Whenever something changed in my life, I would just end up wishing things would go back to how they were before. When I was in 6th grade, I would always ask myself, can't I just stay in 6th grade forever? I mean, it's easy. And then when I was in 7th grade, I would ask myself the same. And then recently, I found myself asking myself, why can't I just stay in 8th grade forever? I mean, it'll be easy, it'll be fine, and I'm just perfect with that. But recently, I've learned not to think like that anymore. Here's the thing. If I didn't move on to 8th grade, I would have never had all the experiences that I had with my class. I wouldn't have had the memories of the fun we had on mission trip, the feeling every time we won a basketball game, or the endless programs we pulled off together. It might seem great to stay at the point you are now, but you can't grow without change. I'm sad that I'm about to leave behind FH Jenkins, but if I only dwell in the past, I'll never be able to appreciate what high school has to offer. Class of 2016, from this point on, life is just going to consist of more and more changes. Nothing will stay the same. Some things will change for the better, and some things will change for the worse. But it's what we need to become better people. Learn to cherish your current situation while still being able to adjust to change. My favorite TV show is The Office. And on the last episode, a character has a quote that I think about all the time. The character says, "I wish there was a machine that tells you that you're in the good old days while you're still in them." And I think about that all the time. I'm always like, man, why can't I just know when to cherish something? Because I have a problem with that. But one of the things I've noticed is that quote doesn't really apply to me in my class, because the good old days are never really going to end. I mean, we've experienced so much. We'll never end. The good times that we have will never end. It'll always remain a part of us. Class of 2016, it has been a pleasure being your president, and I hope there are still memories to come. Thank you.
Good evening. I will now be doing our aim and motto. An aim is a plan to do something. A plan to do something is to intend or plan to do something. A direct message, to target words, a message, an action, or a product at a person or group. What is a motto? A motto is a rule to live by. A rule to live by is a short saying that expresses a rule to live by. We, the 8th graders of F.H. Jenkins School, prayerfully selected our aim and motto. Our aim: to dream the impossible, to achieve the improbable. Our motto: only as high as we reach can we grow. Only as far as we seek can we go. Only as deep as we look can we see. Only as much as we dream can we be.
Good evening. My name is Anya Hardin, and I am the president of the graduating 8th grade class. As you well know, this past April, our 8th grade class went on a mission trip to Holbrook, Arizona. During that trip, we had the chance to meet a lot of other 8th grade classes. After conferring amongst ourselves for a while, we decided that we, the 8th grade class of F.H. Jenkins Prep, we're definitely the best 8th grade class in the conference, probably the best 8th grade class in the Southern Union, and maybe even the best 8th grade class in the North American Division. I have looked over the evidence of this statement, and I have narrowed down the number of reasons down to 5. Reason number 1, Pax Forta. Pax, I have had many stimulating arguments with this boy, and most of which that I think that I've won. But he says that's because I make up facts when I run out of things to say, but that's totally besides the point. Pax is very competitive and very ambitious and has the swag of J. Cole. He observes everything, which is sometimes a little weird, but that makes him who he is. Most importantly, Pax has a kind heart. I honestly think when Pax grows up, he'll either be a producer, a psychiatrist, or the President of the United States. Pax for President, year 2036. Pax, see you on the campaign trail. Reason number 2, Taylor Madison. My girl can be brutally honest at times, but when we think about it, that's kind of what we all need the most. Time and time again, Tay has lit up my day with her jokes. She inspired me to do my own hair, as she started doing this year. She dabbles in many sports and is the most prominent female tenor in the school. We love her, and Tay, you will always be our girl. Reason number 3, Sadiq Williams Johnson. Sadiq is, for now, the only internet celebrity in our class. He excels in many sports, and he is also the stand-in math tutor for pretty much the entire class. He can be very helpful and also very hilarious. He's a young entrepreneur and will no doubt make his mark on the world, but he will always be our brother and friend. Reason number 4, McKinley Jeffries. Words cannot explain how much McKinley has meant to me over these past few years. She's always been a friend to those who needed one. She's the Pocahontas lookalike who can write a story like nobody's business and has enough class and sass for the both of us. She has been faithful in saving me from Miss Washington and myself. She's got big dreams and an even bigger heart. And she says I can visit her house in Atlanta and LA anytime. Kinley, we love you, and you will always be my best friend. Reason number 5. Oh, that's me. My name is Anya Harden, and since I want to be humble, I didn't write mine. My amazing class and teacher wrote it for me.
Okay, I'm sorry. Anya is definitely one of a kind. She is loyal. She is ambitious. She is an amazing writer. When Anya writes poetry or stories, they're always either moving, deep, or happy. I have never heard a bad story written by Anya. One of the other many things we love about Anya is that she is an encourager. When you are down, she is right there to pick you back up. One thing I also love to tease her about is when she loves to play with her hair. We have, in time and time again, told her she is going to go, Anya, you know that one little spot? You know that one little spot? You can't get a weave just for that one little spot, okay? Just remember that. That was our saying. Okay, I'm sorry. By the way, Anya, that weave, okay? Remember that. Anya is an amazing singer. She will sing all day long in class, the hallway, even in the restroom. Sometimes we're like, Anya, can you please just stop singing? Your voice is amazing. But one funny thing about Anya is when Anya sings like certain songs, she changes up the words. She does, you really do. You change up the words. And that's why we love Anya. And I love you so much.
Thank you. Our class has known each other since the 6th grade, and we consider ourselves to be a family. We love FHJ and are sad to leave, although we are not sad that the school year is over. We are glad to have survived this year, and we are even gladder that we are graduating. And for that, we have to give a big hand to our fearless leader, Miss Washington, who has coined the phrases, I have a whole dissertation to do, and life isn't fair, deal with it. She is very smart and very beautiful and will probably write a book someday. Though she sometimes has to correct us, she loves us very much, and that is all that matters. I would also like to thank the 6th and 7th graders who have helped us through this year. Kaylin, always being honest and encouraging us to, quote, get your polynomials done, unquote. Courtney, always having sweets on hand and serenading us with stories of your poor, poor dog. Robert, I have a personal thank you to you for snapping me into reality when I go off into my little world with a staunch, Anya, what are you doing and who are you talking to? Chelsea, for allowing me to teach you how to play basketball. And then just blowing me out of the water. I love you too. Donovan, for showing me how a terrible rapper I am. And being that Steph Curry when we need you to. Price, for just being awesome and sharing your lunches with me. I love you all. This year, we have been surrounded by the love and care and concern of our parents and peers. We would like to thank everyone who has helped us over the course of the year in the course of our lives. I also want to thank the rest of the teachers. Dr. Wood, you've taught me so much, even though you scare the mess out of me. Ms. Pelote, I would like to thank you for teaching us how to be helpful and how to be considerate of others. Mr. Hutton, your class is probably my favorite class because your class is the only class which I can sing at the top of my lungs and not get put out of class. And Ms. Tapp, she'll probably watch the video at some point in time. Thank you for inspiring creativity in us. We will never forget you. Okay. We would like to thank you for making us the best 8th grade class we can be. Thank you.
As if it's never gonna end, but you'll get through it. Just don't give in. Count on me through thick and thin, a friendship that will never end. When you are weak, I will be strong, helping you to carry on. I know sometimes it seems as if we're standing all alone,
But we'll get through it, 'cause love won't let me fall. Count on me through thick and thin, a friendship that will never end. When you are weak, I will be strong, helping you to carry on. Call on me, I will be there. Don't
find the truth in love, the answers that we feel. I know that love can make you feel like it's so much harder than it really is, but you'll get through it. Just don't give in, 'cause you can. When you are weak, I will be strong, helping you to carry on. Follow me, I will be there. Don't be afraid. Please believe me when I say, count on, count on, count on, count on, count on, count on me.
Hi, I'll be doing the introduction to speaker. A native of Memphis, Tennessee, Monte D. Watkins has lived in Nashville since finishing high school. He earned his Bachelor of Science degree in psychology from Tennessee State University in 1970. 3 years later, he received his master's degree in general psychology. After working in the Nashville community as an educational therapist, mental health specialist, university instructor, real estate agent, and financial counselor, he attended law school at North Carolina Central University, where he received his Juris Doctor in 1984. Prior to his appointment as criminal court judge on September 11, 2003, Judge Watkins worked 19 years as a sole practitioner, focusing on criminal defense, probate law, and real estate. Judge Watkins has been a frequent speaker on a variety of topics to high school, college, law students, as well as churches, bar associations, judicial conferences, social and professional organizations. He currently serves as chairman of the Character and Fitness Committee, District 5, of the Tennessee Board of Law Examiners, 1992 present. Life member of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, past president of and life member of the Napier-Luby Bar Association, life member of the National Bar Association, fellow of the Tennessee Bar Foundation, fellow of the Nashville Bar Foundation, fellow of the Napier-Luby Foundation, a master in the American Inn of Court and life member of the Tennessee State University Alumni Association. He served as treasurer of the Tennessee Judicial Conference and as treasurer of and 2 terms on the Board of Visitors of the NCCU School of Law, and has been appointed to another term. He is also the father of 1 adult son and daughter. Please welcome your speaker, Monte D. Watkins.
I will use the mic. And for those of you, after hearing that introduction, I saw the question on some of your faces, yes, I'm that old. I want to thank Dr. Wood, the board, faculty, staff, the parents, and the most wonderful group of students I have ever encountered for having me here tonight. It is truly a pleasure, and I have a question in my mind. I see my frat brother and classmate out here and his silhouette. Do you have a grandchild graduating or something? Great niece, Gerald McCarter. You see, I'm 10 years younger than him. Tonight, I'm going to keep my remarks right at 15 minutes, so I'm not going to put you to sleep, I hope. And I'm going to talk about, or at least the theme of my talk is use your talents. And I saw some talent here tonight. But before I get into that, just wanted to mention a couple of things. I see Dr. Johnson back there, my frat brother also. I just arrived back in Nashville from Cuba last night, my first trip there. I was there on a cultural exchange amongst lawyers and judges, and it was a wonderful experience. And what I want to tell these graduates and all of you, I want you to travel the world, folks. And if you travel the world, particularly the Western Hemisphere, one of the things you're going to notice is how well you have it here in America. Other people don't have it so well in many parts of the world. And if you know anything about Cuba, they've been under an embargo since 1959, and they don't have the materials and stuff to maintain their properties, and they're really in a state of disrepair. But inside, they keep them pretty well. But here's the thing I want to point out about the Cuban people. Although they're poor, they have a spirit like none other that I have seen. And as I walked around, either by myself or with others, they would often come up to us and they would say either, "De donde es?" or "Where are you from?" And I would either respond, depending on how they said it, I'd say "Estados Unidos," United States. And as soon as they heard those words, they would light up and they would say, "Obama, welcome, amigo." I mean, Obama is almost like a god in Cuba since he has opened up relations with that nation. And they're really hoping that things are going to get better because of that. But let me go on to what I came here to talk about. Using your talents. You know, all of you have talent. You know, whether it's academic, athletic, business, or artistic. And I heard a little bit of all of those things. And I want you to use and develop those talents. And I saw it really here tonight. But one of the ways that you use and develop those talents is through education. You have to learn to expand that talent. Because if you don't, you can have all the talent in the world, but if you're ignorant, your talent is not going to be any use to you. And I don't think you're going to be that is ignorant. So use your education to expand and develop your talent. You know, Malcolm X once said, education is our passport to the future. I lost my thought for a moment. For tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Now, think about this. Don't say, well, I'm going to prepare for it when I get to college. Prepare for it today. Starting tomorrow. I know you've already done your way to get to where you are today, but prepare yourself for the future. How do you do that? You know, I've heard over the years people say that there are so many different ways to achieve and to be successful. I've heard so many different ways, but you know, I want to leave you with 3 words that I think are very important for developing your talent and achieving in life. Those 3 words are desire, discipline, and determination. You know, when you have desire, that means you want something in life. I remember back when I was a kid and I grew up poor, I looked at the people in my neighborhood, particularly the men, and I saw really 3 groups of men in my life, in my neighborhood. There were the ones who didn't do much of anything, and you know what I mean, those who just really didn't do much, didn't work much, didn't do much. Then you had the hard-working blue-collar men in the neighborhood, the ones who work construction jobs, factory jobs, and what have you. Really good, honest, decent work, but hard work. Then you had the professionals. And we didn't have a whole lot of professionals, but we had them. We had the teachers, the principals, the insurance agents, the ministers, and what have you, funeral home folks, a few doctors, a few lawyers, a few dentists. And they are the ones who walked around in shirts and ties. And I looked at them and I said, you know, I think I want to be like them because they don't work that hard. Little did I know, they actually do. But I had that desire to be like them. And I want you to have that desire. Then, after developing a desire, you have to have discipline. And you know what discipline is. In the academic arena, it's going to class, being in class on time, doing your work, doing your homework, completing your assignments, and being the best student you can be. You know, in a couple of years, some of you are going to start getting your first jobs, your part-time jobs outside of school, along with school. But you're going to have discipline when you work that job. You're going to have to get there on time, because if you're not on time, you know what's going to happen. And you're going to have to do your job. So you have to have discipline in order to achieve. And finally, you have to have determination. What is determination? That is not allowing anyone to prevent you from reaching your goal. You know, I think back in my college years when some of my classmates and friends did not have that determination and they quit. And although some of them came out okay, a lot of them did not. And I saw so many of them not do so well after that. So those of us who had determination, we kept on pushing, so to speak. We did not allow anyone to deter us from doing what we had to do in life. And I know that you won't allow anyone to deter you, because I heard some of you want to be doctors. One of you wants to be a lawyer. One of you wants to be a writer and singer. You know, so you have all the goals there, but I want you to keep following that goal in life. So determination, desire, discipline, determination. If you follow that little simple formula, you're going to achieve in life. What is today? Well, today is the best day of your life, right? You know, people ask me, how am I doing? And I always say, I'm great. Today is the best day of my life. I say, is it your anniversary? Your birthday? I said, no, it's today. Every day is the best day of my life, and you know why? Because yesterday is gone, right? And tomorrow is not promised, right? So what does that leave? Today, the best day of your life, right? Two more things. Well, before I get to that, I mentioned lawyer, doctor. Well, I believe that, or at least I think that one of you, and I heard it mentioned, that one of you may end up being in the highest office in the land. Shaking his head over there. Obama probably did that one time. But where is he today? In the White House. And I want you in 2036, when you get there, invite me, a very old man, to come to the White House. Okay? One other thing I have just two things left, because I said I was going to keep it short. I'm going to say something and I want you to repeat it. Okay? not only repeat it tonight, I want you to repeat it to your parents tomorrow. It's very simple. I'm going to say it twice, and then the third time we'll say it together. I promise to be the best person that I can be. You heard that? I promise to be the best person that I can be. Now, I want you to say it with me. I promise to be the best person that I can be. All right. And final thing. Just as I was getting ready to walk out of my house, I looked up on the wall and I saw something that I put up there a couple of months ago. And there's just a few simple words to leave you with. All of you. Not just the graduates here, but all of you. It's very simple. All right? Laugh when you can. Apologize when you should. And let go of what you can't change. Forgive quickly. Play hard. Take chances. Give everything and have no regrets. Because life is too short to be anything but happy. Thank you all so very, very much. I really appreciate it.
Judge Watkins, thank you for your words of wisdom and encouragement. We, the 8th grade graduates, will remember these words in years to come, as we'll soon become freshmen. Freshmen going back to the bottom of the food chain could be rough. Most of us are going to a large school, at least compared to F.H. Jenkins, and it's exciting and scary at the same time. Judge Watkins, we look forward to high school and want to know how much we appreciate your time and wisdom. We are confident that your words will help us make wise choices as we encounter a wide variety of people and problems. On behalf of the 8th grade class of F.H. Jenkins Preparatory School, we would like to present to you this small token to say thank you for giving of your time and energy. May God bless you and your entire family. Shirt that we gave him from F.H. Jenkins, and if you would like to purchase one, you can get it from the school.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
And now the party begins. We will be taking this opportunity to honor our graduates.
School board members, if you could come and join us on the stage over here at this time, please. To the F.H. Jenkins School Board, that is coming. And to Dr. Wood, it gives me great pleasure to confirm that these 8th grade students have successfully completed the criteria set forth by the Southern Union of Seventh-day Adventists and have met the requirements set forth for graduation.
And on behalf of F.H. Jenkins and the South Central Conference and our school board, we accept these graduates based on their meeting the academic requirements for 8th grade graduation.
Thank you. Sadiq Isaiah Williams Johnson. Pax Irvin Gill Fordham. Anya Sophia Harden. Taylor Charlay Madison. God still works. And last but not least, McKinley Renee Jeffries.
Yes.
Thank you so much. At this time, we have some selected presentations. Thank you, School Board. Our first presentation will be from Madison Academy, followed by the Friends of Joni Coopwood.
What a blessing to be present this evening. What a treat. I was expecting commencement service, and I got a little bit of church as well. What a beautifully bright group of students, and I am privileged to honor you this evening. Seventh-day Adventists operate the largest Protestant school system in the world, and they do so because our children are important, they are valuable, and they are entrusted to us by God. And my parents, like their parents, believed that the work of redemption and education are one. And they made sacrifices of their time, their energy, and their funds to provide a Christian education for their girls. I am a graduate KG, kindergarten for graduate school, in the Adventist system. And that choice was reflected in the cars that my parents drove and the toys that were in our garage and the food that was on our table. But never once, not one time, did my parents see the choice to choose Adventist education as anything else but an investment. An investment in my future, an investment in the future of our church, and an investment in eternity. And so to jumpstart that investment, we have some funds for you this evening. We know that you have a choice of academies to head to, a choice of high schools outside of Tennessee, a choice for boarding schools that you support, and we love that. But if you are right here in the Nashville area and you are looking for a Christian education, we want Madison Academy to be your school of choice. And we want you to feel at home in an academic climate in an Adventist culture. And so I have some scholarships this evening that are based on grade point averages. But I also will tell you that there are additional scholarships available at our school that are for a variety of other things as well. We won't award those this evening, but if you would like to know more about those, I would love to chat with you. But we have some scholarships this evening based on GPA. The first one from a GPA somewhere between 3.0 and 3.25, McKinley Jeffries. Congratulations. Come on up.
Go, girl.
A GPA of somewhere between 3.26 to 3.5, Sadiq Williams Johnson. A GPA of 3.51 to 3.75, Anya Hardin. And a GPA of somewhere above 3.76, Irvin Pax Fordham. Thank you for including me tonight.
Good evening, F.H. Jenkins. Before we get started, I have to make a correction. Anya, could you stand? 38 years ago, I stood right here on the stage. We had a class of 5, and we were the best class in Northern America. Thank you, Anya. I love you, Anya. You are wonderful. You're beautiful. Let me get my notes. Hold on. Good evening, F.H. Jenkins, faculty, staff, and alumni. We, the Friends of the late Joan Cootwood, are here to present a scholarship that we started 10 years ago in her honor. If you didn't know who she was, let me tell you. She was someone's daughter. She was a wife, a mother, a friend, and she loved F.H. Jenkins. But most of all, she was a giver. So we, her friends, decided to start a scholarship in her name so that every year we would present here at F.H. Jenkins' graduation $500 times 2 to needy students that will continue to go to F.H. Jenkins. Her founding friends were, if you all here, please stand. The founding members who started this 10 years ago was Gwen Brown, Claudia Dare, Carolyn Lightford, Shirley Wiley, Sylvia Benny, Tara C., Emiria Furman, Claire Nell Fleming, Deidre Freeman, and Beatrice Henry Knight. And we also had other people that signed on and joined us, and they were Angela McHenry, Marisha Jackson, and Barbara Van Leer. And they came along during our 10 years.
So as Jackie has stated, for the past 10 years, we've been blessed to give over $10,000 in scholarship to F.H. Jenkins. So on this evening, we, the friends of the late Joan Cootwood, are privileged to honor her by giving 2 scholarships in the amount of $500 to 2 returning students. The first student is Cameron Bean. And the second student is Xavier Martinez.
So, if any of you all would like to join Joan Cootwood Scholarship Foundation, you can please see Gwen Brown or Claudia Dare in the back. The more money that we give and we put into this school, the better this school will be. Thank you.
Thank you so much. At this time, we would like to invite Mrs. Lewis. She is the superintendent of the South Central Conference, education superintendent, and she has a few words for us.
Thank you, Dr. Wood, and good evening, everyone. To the illustrious and self-proclaimed best 8th grade class, and previously self-proclaimed best 8th grade class in the South Central Conference and the Southern Union and the North American Division, on behalf of the South Central Conference Office of Education, I want to congratulate you. I want to congratulate you parents. I want to congratulate and affirm your faculty, Dr. Wood, Ms. Washington, Ms. Pelote, Ms. Tapp. I am not permitted to have a favorite class because I'm superintendent of 10 schools, and we had 9 8th grade classes this year, and so I'm not allowed to select a favorite class, even though they have proclaimed themselves to be the best class. But here's what I will say, and this is what I want you, Dr. Wood, and Ms. Washington, and Ms. Pelote, Ms. Tapp, and all of the parents, school board members, supportive church members. You have done a very good work with these young people. I had the opportunity to spend 8 days traveling with them when we went to Holbrook, Arizona, to the Holbrook Indian School. And the reason that I know that you have done a good work with them is because you have produced a crop of leaders. You have produced a crop of leaders. Whenever I needed someone to take a leadership position, if it were with a work detail, or if it were at a worship service with the Indian children in chapel, or if it were in a classroom where there was tutoring to be done, or if it were at a church that we attended and participated in AYS, I could invariably call on an F.H. Jenkins 8th grader, and they would step to the task and take it with a grip and do a great job. Now, recognizing this, you all have some work to do in this city because you are not letting people see and people know the product that you have as well as you should be. You've got to really get this product out into this city. Any parent would be happy to have their children be trained as your children have been trained and prepared. Dr. Wood and her team have worked to increase the academic rigor and to push the children to excel, and the children have risen to the challenge. We need to spread this word across the greater Nashville area. And so I am challenging you, those of you who are parents whose children are these products, those of you who are church members, relatives, school board personnel, you need to be getting the word out about what is happening at F.H. Jenkins, because I am looking for larger and larger 8th grade class. And next year, you 7th graders, I know you're going to go on the mission trip and we're going to be in Arizona again. And next year, you're going to have the best 8th grade class again. And so congratulations to you students, faculty, parents, school board members, and supporters of Adventist education. Keep doing the good work that you're doing.
Thank you, Mrs. Lewis. We have a very, very, very special commendation to give at this time. Church school is not free. Now, those of you who know me know that I really wish that it was, because if we believe that this is a ministry that every child should be a part of, then it should be something that every child should be a part of. But I digress. Church school is not cheap, but parents have dedicated funds, have sacrificed tremendously to send their children to church school. We have one particular family this year who has dedicated 9 years of tuition at F.H. Jenkins, from kindergarten through 8th grade, and that is the Madison family. We ask that you guys come forward, please. This is a serious commitment to Seventh-day Adventist Christian education. And if we round out the numbers, we're talking at about $34,000 in church school tuition. And they have not regretted one day, at least from my conversations with them. And a matter of fact, they've been begging me daily, Pastor Madison, that we reopen pre-K so that the youngest can come to our school. This is a commitment that is a testimony about what God can do in a family and how he can provide for people who are dedicated to putting their children in Christian education. So on behalf of F.H. Jenkins, we present you this certificate, as well as $100 seed money for the next church school that you wish to put Taylor in next year. Thank you. She said we'll be back for pre-K. The last thing we want to do is give some special gifts to our graduates. It has been a very fun year, exciting year. For me, this was my first year with these 8th graders, and it was a joy. Now, some of them might have said that it wasn't always a joy for them, but we had a good time this year, and we did our best to challenge them, to push them, to help them to realize that there's not always going to be a Miss Washington or a Miss Tapp or a Dr. Wood or Mrs. Pelote to say, did you do your work? Or come by my classroom after school. That's always not going to be there. So we tried to build in some responsibility pieces into their curriculum this year. But we have very special gifts for you that are personalized for each one of you. So first we have Sadiq Williams Johnson. Each student will receive a gift card that reflects them. And Sadiq, you have a gift card to Domino's. On pizza days, those who are at school know, on pizza days, he always wanted the extra slice, and he goes around like, you got some juice? You got any more juice? I'll pay an extra $1 for some juice. So we got a special gift card just for you for some pizza. All right, and there are other special things in the bag. Next we have Pax Fordham. Pax, you have a special gift card to H&M. Okay, I know, when we went to the mall, that's my favorite store. So Pax H&M. Anya Harden. Now, if anybody has been to the school at dismissal time and you see Anya, what do you see her doing? Does anybody? Reading a book. Always. Anya will crawl in a little space in the corner and she's reading. So Barnes and Nobles. And we have Taylor Madison. She is constantly asking for Miss Washington's lotion and scent, Bath and Body Works. And finally, but not least, McKinley Jeffries, who consistently, honestly, when I did my first parent meeting, she said, "Oh, I like your outfit. That is so cute. Oh, look at your shoes." Nordstrom. Yes.
Thank you, Dr.
You're welcome. So enjoy your gifts. And let's give another hand for our 8th graders.
Thank you. At this time, we have one final presentation from our school board chair.
Good evening. As you can see, we have some great assets at F.H. Jenkins. First, we have some phenomenal students. Can you say amen? We also want to acknowledge the fabulous teachers that we have. We are blessed as a school to have a fabulous staff of teachers, as well as some teachers who volunteer at our school. And we are praising God for the volunteers that we have, as our choir director, Mr. Armand Hutton, as well as our volunteer Bible teacher, Mrs. Beverly Dent, our volunteer art teacher, Gabriella Claybrooks, as well as some volunteer librarians. We have some wonderfully supportive parents. We want to affirm all of our parents. Would all of the parents of F.H. Jenkins students stand? All of our parents. These are some great assets at F.H. Jenkins. Wonderfully supportive parent culture, and we thank you. You may be seated. We also have a dedicated school board. We want to thank all of our school board members. Would all of our school board members stand? These are the individuals who cast the vision, who spend time in meetings trying to generate solutions, income, etc. You may be seated. We thank them. But one of our best, greatest, amazing assets is the innovative, phenomenal, academically creative, team building, motivating, inspiring. Do we have any more verbs that we go? What are those adjectives? Those are adjectives. Y'all, we are blessed to have the absolute greatest principal in Dr. Summerwood. If you agree, would you stand? We are praising the Lord for the greatest asset that we have at F.H. Jenkins. And I want you to know that 2 weeks ago, she graduated with her PhD in education from Vanderbilt University. And on behalf of our F.H. Jenkins School, as well as our treasurer and our budget that has balance now, we want to affirm you, thank you, and bless you, Summer, for the blessing that you have been to us.
The 8th grade graduating class of F.H. Jenkins would like to present something to you special from the F.H. Jenkins. We present this gift as the newest alumni of F.H. Jenkins Preparatory. We had a class discussion that we would like to leave as a gift, as we have decided these monies towards the playground. Dr. would you please accept our gift from the class of 2016? Thank you.
So if you notice, she said we would like to put monies toward. So in the event that you would like to put more monies toward the playground, we are accepting of those as well. Thank you so much, 8th graders, for starting that.
Parents, thank you sincerely. Thanks for the start to the lives that we've had. Thanks for the nights that you went without rest. So many memories, most happy, some sad. Thanks for the rules that we wish were not there. Thanks for the wisdom we sometimes denied. All the attention and all the care, all the forgiveness and all of the pride. Pointing out faults, but then calling out cheers. Thank you sincerely for all of those years. Thank you for love not required to be earned, not ever fading as time moves along. You have to know what the love is returned, not always showing, but always so strong. Thank you sincerely for all of those years. Parents, for relatives, and friends, this tribute is for you. When you see your child, please stand.
How do I say goodbye to what we had?
evening, everyone. My name is Anya Sophia Hardin, and I will be graduating today. However, this would not be possible if it were not for the help of some very special people. I would not be where I am today without all my friends and family that love me and care for me enough to help me. Thank you, Mommy, for sacrificing so much so that I can get a good education. I just want to let you know that even though I don't always say it, I appreciate all that you've done for me and our family, as well as just being the amazing woman you are. Thank you, Daddy, for always being there for me, and helping me, and always loving me no matter what. Thank you for encouraging me to use my gifts for the Lord and being an overall awesome father. I love you both so much, and I thank you for not slapping the black off of me when I did not realize the error of my ways. Thank you for raising me right with morals and Christian values so that I may shine the light of Jesus Christ for all the world to see. There are also other people that I would like to thank. Thank you to my sister and brother, Nadia and Simon, for teaching me my patience by testing mine. Thank you to my extended family, grandparents, uncles, aunties, cousins, for supporting me and loving me ever since I was little. I would especially like to thank all my wonderful teachers, Miss Wash, Miss Tapp, Mr. Hudden, and Dr. Wood for being patient with me and helping me thrive academically. I would not be graduating tonight without your help. Shout out to my best friend McKinley for helping me through the years with her kindness and sense of humor, as well as coming through for me when I needed help with homework. I would also like to thank the rest of my incredibly awesome classmates for helping me in their own special way. Taylor, Pax, Caleb, Sadiq, Chelsea, Courtney, Kaylin, Robert, Price, and Donovan. I love all of you guys, and I hope that you have a great school year next year, and that we can have a reunion at some point. Thank you to Coach C, Coach Jones, Coach Tigger, Coach April, and Coach Christie for making me work hard and helping me understand what teamwork is. I would like to thank the Oaklands Park SDA Church for being an amazing church family for the last 3.5 years. I love you so much, and I will miss you greatly. Now, I would like to thank all the people who I did not mention by name. The people that cheered for me at games. The people that applauded for me at programs. The people that prayed for me and loved on me. Yes, you. I just want to let you know that I appreciate everything that you've done for me. I love you all. Last but not least, I would like to thank my almighty Savior Jesus Christ for carrying me on your back this whole entire school year. You know that I would not be able to make it through the year without you. Thank you for protecting me and loving me. And thank you for giving me all these people that love me. And thank you for allowing me to graduate. Amen.
Lean on me. When you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. Lean on me, boy. It won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here today to share my words of appreciation for those who have helped me become the person I am today. I would like to start by saying thank you to my mom for going through all the trouble and stress when I was getting suspended and put out of schools. I also want to thank you for supporting me even when you didn't have a lot at the moment. I'm grateful for your encouraging words when you were going through other issues yourself. Most of all, I want to be appreciative of the encouragement of trying to get me to eat more like an Adventist. Next, I want to thank my grandfather. I would like to thank you for encouraging me to work hard and to keep my grades up. I was also very appreciative for all the money support, such as paying my tuition, buying me clothes and shoes, paying for my mission trip, and things like that. I am also grateful for the time and support that you put into me and my sister. But last, I am grateful for the patience that you have for me as a student and as your grandson, because sometimes my grades may drop and I may even get myself into some trouble. The third person I'd like to thank is Kathy. The reason I chose Kathy is because I'm thankful for the encouragement to pray when I have little and big problems. I also want to thank you for putting me in this school because it has changed my life around tremendously. I want to thank you for encouraging me to read as well, I guess. Next, I would like to thank my big brother. I want to thank him because he buys my siblings and I stuff we really don't even need. I also appreciate you taking me to school even when we are a couple hours late. The last people I want to thank are my annoying sisters. I want to just thank them for all the patience that they have put in me. Thank you for this time to share my appreciation speech.
I love God. You don't love God? What's wrong with you? I love God. You don't love God? What's wrong with you?
Love him, I love him. Love him, I love him. Love him, I love him. Love him, I love him, I love him. Love him, I love him, I love him. Love him.
Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all doing well tonight. To start, I would like to thank everybody who is here today. I want to begin by thanking my teachers for being a true blessing and supplying me with all the knowledge I have today and supporting me through the good and the bad. You have been a part of my life for 5 years now, and I appreciate that so much. I'm so thankful. I would also like to thank my friends for making me laugh through the midst of it all, to the point, well, they know what I'm talking about. I would also like to thank my biggest supporters in life, my family. This portion of my speech is dedicated to Christina, Jace, Granny, Brittany, Aunt Ye, Kinsey, Aunt Tam, Uncle Alan, Aunt Moni, Uncle Jerry, Tiffany, Nicole, Uncle Mario, and Amos. There are no words to describe how amazing you guys are, even when we disagree. You're only going to hear this once, so I suggest you take heed. You all helped me from homework to ideas to advice and everything in between. You all have no idea how much you've helped me. When I was in my darkest hour, you were there. And for that, I am grateful and always will be. With that being said, this next portion is to my mom, somebody I did not mention. You are the most amazing mom in the world. Without you, I wouldn't be able to stand here and share my experience at F.H. Jenkins or my milestone that I have accomplished here. You've been there the most out of everybody. Thank you for never giving up on me and standing by me, because not everybody has a mother like that. I wouldn't trade you for anything in the world. I remember when I wanted to be a kindergarten teacher. You told me, Kinley, you could go higher and do more. That's when I decided I wanted to be a business law professor. You always encourage me, and I am very grateful for you. I love you so much. I appreciate all of you, and I love you.
Hey, yo, 1, 2, 3, get up, we got victory. No weapon may grow at me. It won't. You know it won't prosper. Now. Ron, this is crazy. Hey, yo, 1, 2, 3, get up, we got victory. No weapon may grow at me. You know it won't prosper. Now.
Good evening, family and friends. I would like to take this time to show my appreciation for those who have helped me succeed through my many years here at F.H. Jenkins. First, I would like to thank my mom and dad. You've always shown me unconditional love through the good times, especially the bad times. You always tell me what I need to hear, even when I'm not ready to hear it. Most of all, I can truly tell I'm blessed to have you as parents. Thank you. I would also like to give a special thanks to my teachers for helping me on my first year of 8th grade. I have to admit it was pretty hard, but having teachers like Miss Washington and Miss Tapp help is always there. Through missing assignments or late assignments, they still will always be there. There's this side of them that no other teacher could have. Thanks both of you for showing me a bright high school future ahead of me. Miss Wash, I hope I can be that high school big kid that makes you proud. One person who means the world to me and honestly has had a big impact in my 8th grade year is my wonderful principal, Dr. Summer Wood. I'm going to go ahead and admit, since this will probably be the last time we even get to see each other, I will truly miss you. You were always there when my world always seemed to turn upside down. You always knew how to juggle out being a teacher, principal, but most of all, You stepped in and took care of our school when no one else would. I know I'll never find another principal like you. I will truly miss you. Lastly, I don't want to forget my best friends, Courtney, Kaylin, McKinley, Anya. Y'all have been there for me always, 3rd through 8th grade. With friends like you, your day is always full of laughter and fun. And when I say fun, I mean fun. You four shown me the true meaning of friendship. Through all of our ups and downs, I will never forget you guys. And all of my other classmates I did not get to mention, I will miss you all as well. My year at Jenkins has been so amazing. I'm really going to miss it. Now, Mom, Dad, how about some Chili's?
Good evening. My name is Pax Fordham, and I have been attending F.H. Jenkins for 2 years now. As a graduating 8th grade student, I have the privilege of giving special tributes to people who have helped me along the way. I want to start off with the ones who I wouldn't be here without, my parents. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for motivating me to always try to do my best, even when I felt like giving up. Thank you for teaching me that the world doesn't end if I miss an assignment, and that it's okay not to be perfect all the time. I can never repay you for the multiple all-nighters you spent helping me with science fair and Bible Expo projects, and for the times you let me take a personal day off from school. And of course, thank you for always being there for me. I'll always appreciate that. I also want to thank my brothers Pace and Price for always pushing me to try new things and get out of my comfort zone. If it wasn't for you, I probably would have never tried out for the basketball team and become the Michael Jordan that I am today. I also want to thank my grandparents, uncles, aunts, and cousins who are celebrating this milestone with me. Big Dada and Nana, Uncle Skoog and Aunt Marla, Selah and Logan, Uncle Van and Caprice, and Uncle Amant. You have always supported me in everything I do, and I am extremely grateful. Finally, as it relates to family, I want to thank my Riverside church community. God has blessed me with an awesome group of friends and family who are always in my corner. Next, I want to thank my teachers who have assisted me in getting to where I am today. My first teacher was my mother. Thank you, Mom, for taking the time to homeschool me. You could have done anything else with your life, but you chose to invest in me. And hey, look at me now. The next teacher I want to affirm is Miss McFarland, who was my very first formal school homeroom teacher. She welcomed me and helped to make my transition into F.H. Jenkins a smooth one. I also want to express my gratitude to Miss Washington. It has been great having such a fun, approachable, and helpful teacher that I could always count on. I believe any student would be blessed to have her as their teacher. I have always loved reading and writing, so I want to thank Miss Tapp for having such a creative class where my interests could be stimulated and strengthened. And finally, I want to thank Dr. Wood for being an overall great principal. She has pushed me to be the best that I can be, and I will always appreciate that. Last but not least, I can't leave without thanking my entire class. Courtney, Kaylin, Chelsea, Price Robert, Donovan Caleb, and especially my graduating class, Sadiq, McKinley, Anya, and Taylor. Thank you for becoming a community that helps each other out. I'll always remember staying up late, cramming for tests, the triple overtime basketball game, the countless holiday programs we pulled off, the mission trip, and the other experiences we had together when we attended F.H. Jenkins. It's been great. And finally, in the words of Miss Washington, hard is relative. So remember, nothing is too hard for us.
So I wanna be like Jesus. Be like Jesus. I wanna be like him. Just like him. Wanna be like Jesus. Be like Jesus. I wanna be like him. I wanna be like him. Just like him.
you so much. At this time, I would like to introduce the class of 2017. When you hear your name, please stand and face the audience. Courtney Hewlett. Chelsea Coes Evan. Robert Birdsong. Kaylin Griffin. And in absentia, Caleb Clark.
Please bow your heads and close your eyes for the benediction. Dear Heavenly Father, we are so happy on this glorious evening that you have given to us. We know that we couldn't have made it without you being our guide. We know it was you who got us to where we are. And we just want to say thank you for that. Father, I would like to show thankfulness to our parents. The type of parents you have given us are loving and caring parents that never give up on us. And we know that not many people have parents like that. And we're just so grateful and thankful for that. They've been there with us, and now we're graduating. We're going to high school. And Father, I pray that as we leave your holy temple tonight, may we never forget the joy, the laughter, and the love that we have shared as a classroom family. And Father, above all, I pray that we never forget F.H. Jenkins Preparatory School, the school that I've been in through 9 years, and the school that my friends have been to as well. This school has got us also to where we are today, and we say thank you. In your precious and glorious name, may we as a family say amen and amen.
Thank you so much for attending this evening. We would like to invite you to a reception in the multi-purpose room following graduation. Thank you so much.